Welcome to Rankings. Of course, I'm Jonah Woolett. My partner Clayton Guillory is on the road right now. Hey, you still looking HD, boy? Even though you're on the road in New York, I understand. You got to go up
Hey
there and check
man,
out my main man.
yeah,
Clay son represent that West Point, making daddy and making the family proud. So you got to put in them daddy duties real quick and check my man out, putting in some
no,
ball time this weekend. Clay, tell me about that road
no,
trip, my man.
man, no doubt. We just touched down in New York. Me, the wife, and my youngest daughter, oldest daughter, couldn't make this one. So my wife driving right now as we headed up to West Point to visit him. But hey, we still got to do these rankings, man. These people want this blue magic, Jonah. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. I
Right,
hear on the streets, there was some stepped on shit on the internet earlier, right? So we here to give y'all that real. We here y'all to give y'all that uncut. Cause like I told you, remember, hey, the mother nigga stepped on, we pure. So hey, we finna give it to you
right.
tonight, man. And I gotta
Give
take my
it.
hats off to Jonah, man. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Jonah has pulled something out his ass, man. That's finna change the game. It's finna change the game. So right now,
Oh,
tag your people, comment,
right.
chime in. Generation Next is finna change the game. Rankings Uncut right here. AG on the ones and twos. I apologize if y'all hear some noise in the background. My daughter in the back on her iPad, listening to Disney tunes or something like that. And my wife, she not used to driving in this New York traffic, so you might hear her cussing in Spanish and shit. So yeah, hey, y'all just be cool, man. No reporters.
Oh man, it's all good. It's all good, man. Y'all just keep it safe, man. So, hey, before we jump into the rankings, Clay, let's talk about some stuff, man. Let's do some house cleaning real quick, man. Some things we don't want to always talk about, but we really believe in changing this football culture for the better. You know what I'm saying? And we just not gonna sit on it. We're not just gonna chill on it. We talk about is the disturbing trend, man, is that these parents just think they can melee at games. Nobody has. Oh, I see little mama in the back on that iPad. Oh, I see the New York lights back there, Clay. Okay. But parents just think they can tee off in the middle of games. We saw earlier this season, man, a coach lost his life. So this football thing is serious, where they gotta sit back and chill. So I'm seeing incidents going on in Georgia. We looking at an NFL player being involved in a big melee that just made the national news. And these people got to get a grip. And we're just not talking about this happening at the YNC potentially at a national championship, but just everyday football, man. Because the difference from us and a lot of other people, we're involved in daily football activities, which means we travel to cities, we support these teams, we put them on live stream. We want to make sure we just don't bring people down to Florida at the end of the year, but we want to just have that whole entire ride. But man, how do we get parents to get in grip? How do we change this football culture where it has to be some crucial type of penalties, man? That if you fighting at a youth football game, you think you tear that, bro. You got to be banned from. I would say not only that league, but from whatever national umbrella is there, because there's just no room for you to be in front of your kids fighting another grown man, fighting another grown woman. It's just no room for it, bro.
No, I agree with you 100%, Jonah. The state of youth football right now has got to come to a change. We had a unfortunate incident where a coach lost his life, and obviously that the sound of that didn't resonate loud enough for everybody to be able to say, hey, you know what? We need to step back and reevaluate this whole situation. Now the sad part about it is we've got a well-known guy, a well-known athlete, someone that a lot of these kids look up to, a lot of these kids were striving to be like, caught in a violent event at a youth football event. I mean, it's just something that I tell you what, I take my hats off to the gentleman in Arizona that put the lifetime ban on. You know, and I know
Yeah,
some people were talking on social media and they were saying, "Oh man, that's too much. It wasn't that big of a deal." But no, it is that big of a deal. Anytime you
right.
are fighting around youth in front of kids, and you're not a paid professional boxer, a UFC fighter, or wrestler, or something like that in a ring, then yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, there's consequences and repercussions that have to fall in place for it. And that's why we rolled out the rules we rolled out this summer about if you are caught in anything, it don't matter if it's youth football. You could be at a youth soccer event, youth hockey, youth lacrosse, youth basketball, hell, at a track meet. If you're caught in any youth event
Right.
with fighting or melee or whatever title you want to put on it, you would not be allowed into the YMCA. You won't even be able to come in the venue. So here's the thing, man. We have to clear up youth football for these kids, because I can tell you this, man. I am very thankful that my son, who's now a freshman at West Point, did not have to experience that very often. You know, I want to
Right.
say, man, in all the years he did youth football, there might have been one scrapple, you know, that he witnessed, and it was done and over with real fast. And again, it was just adults being stupid, you know. So ultimately, man, we have to find out a way to fix this.
Yep. So, yeah, that's something we want to address. You know, of course, I did a live last week, where we addressed, cheating, you know what I'm saying? And knowing that the rules are in place, and coaches still just want to do what they want to do. But the thing we've noticed, if you don't check any of it, it's going to go rampant. If you don't check the cheating, it's going to go rampant. If you don't check the fighting, it's going to go rampant. So we're not saying, listen, we trying to stand on a high horse or throw rocks at a glass thing, but we feel we can make a change in the football culture. Hell, 6 years ago, there was no YNC, and we thought we could make a difference in the youth football culture. And arguably right now, you can say what you want, but it's one of the most anticipated championships in the country right now. So why not take that vehicle and implement it in doing the right thing? Stop the cheating, stop the fighting, stop the weed smoking. And listen, bro, ain't nothing wrong with weed smoking. Do your thing. It's legal in a lot of states. You know what I'm saying? Drinking is legal in a lot of states. But man, if you that addicted to something, you can't take 2 hours off from your baby game, so a 6-year-old or 8-year-old don't have to inhale your sativa, your indica, and you don't have to be drunk on your Hennessy and come on, it's just 4 or 5 hours, 2 or 3, 4 hours. Just like control it. We just trying to give something back to these kids. And it can't just be me and Clay, because you know what I'm saying? We can't regulate it all. So it just y'all start policing y'all own selves with it. And we just want to talk about rankings. We want to talk about football and stop all the craziness, man. And again, I don't want to see what happened in Texas, where someone pulls out a gun and a coach loses his life over a first down. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You understand what I'm saying?
I can tell you this, Jonah. Number one, is definitely not worth it. But I tell you this, and I'll be the first one to tell you, no system is foolproof. Hell, I see people sneak stuff on airplanes that they through TSA that they're not supposed to have on. But I will tell
Right.
you this: if you get a weapon into the YNC, hey, you James Bond, because we're gonna pull everything out we can. Everything just short of everybody getting butt naked and spreading their ass cheeks and saying cough. I'm telling you, man, we gonna do what we can to keep these kids safe.
Right.
You know, and it just is what it is, man. You know, some people gonna be upset about it. Some people may walk up to the gate and say, hey, I can't go in there, or whatever
Right.
whatever the case is, man. We're gonna do what we can to get these kids safe. Also, I'm gonna remind you, coaches, right? When your team gets that invitation to the Youth National Championship, Division I and Division II, right? There will be, I'm gonna repeat, there will be a background check that has to be cleared for every coach to get into nationals. I actually just got through talking with Zorts yesterday about the parameters of it and which direction we're going with it and things like that.
Right.
And that background check is going to be at your cost. I'm not going to pick up the tab to learn about y'all beating on your baby mama and all this other stuff. I'm not going to do that. So, but it will be one of the costs to be part of the YNC, because we need to keep these kids protected as most as possible, man. So, or as best as possible as we can. So, hey, it just is what it is, man. Y'all can put me on the list as, you know, most hated nigga in youth football. That's fine, but it's not finna. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that it don't happen on my watch.
Right. And here go the real most hated part. So we know we have, and listen, a lot of our friends, chronic weed smokers, it is what it is. But what they not gonna like at YNC this year is them canines, the drug smelling canines at YNC this year.
Hey, and
So
we got to make sure we gonna make sure our dogs work time. He had weed in his pocket walking right next to a dog, and the dog didn't even flinch. No, Mark, that's not finna work. We finna come with them real canines. I would imagine
right.
South Florida should have some of the best canines in the country. So
And look, we don't even want the other canines that detect all type of different drugs. We know what our people like. You understand what I'm saying? So they're gonna be there trying to smell that out. But listen, that's our house cleaning before we jump into the rankings, man. We're just making sure that these rankings will look a little different this week. Not only from the upgrade that we have from that you'll see in a couple minutes. Like I say, tag everybody, and you guys gonna appreciate that. But also, Clay, there's some teams that are removed from the rankings for different reasons.
Oh boy, Jonah. And are there some teams? I will say this. In the 5-6 years we've been doing this, man, we have not had to remove this many teams from rankings that I can remember, Jonah. I mean, I what is it? We had 7, 8 teams through all age divisions that we just have to remove them completely from rankings. That's crazy.
That,
And I get it. Some of them, it's some things. Well, okay, maybe they didn't know and they got caught with, oh shit, they truly didn't know. And it's a sad situation, but rules are rules. But you got some people that just think, hey man, I'm gonna do it my way, and whatever the consequence it is, whatever the consequence it is. A lot of people feel like we're not checking this stuff. Well, hey, they are about to see. We are definitely checking. And here's the crazy part about it, man. This is the part I think, for me personally, Jonah, I can't speak for you, but for me personally, the thing that always insults me the most, whether if I'm
yeah,
dealing with another grown man, whether if I'm dealing with a grown woman, whether if I'm dealing with a child, right? I, I'm even though I don't like it, I'm okay with you lying to my face, which some of these guys have already done. But
right,
don't insult my intelligence. Some of these dudes really insulting our intelligence with the type of shit they think they about to pull. The
right.
dude sat here on the phone with me, Jonah, and told me that this kid did not play in the game, that he coached every down of the game and the kid didn't play in the game. Why I get pictures and video of the kid playing in the game, Jonah? After this dude swore up and down to me on the phone on his name, on his org's brand, that the kid didn't play in the game, Jonah.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. But listen, and here's the thing. Clay and I and the YNC organization, Generation Next, we are not here to punish kids. You guys got to understand this. This is the most important part throughout all of this. We are not here to punish kids. That's everything we are against. We want to hold adults, of course, accountable, but then we have to keep it as a fair playing game, a fair field. So we can't just say, look here, man, coach, we're going to kick you out and this and that. No, if you have teams that don't have eligible players, if they're in the wrong age group, or if the team has to go, unfortunately. So coaches, parents, please, before it gets to take a step back, it's not going to be worth it to lose your season. To lose the vibe where you can't get down to the national championships over what? You understand what I'm saying? So just, man, we beg you, we implore you to get out there, police your own selves, man. And what do I mean by that? Parents, there is no team, and I'm going to say this again, Clay, very rarely in any situation, there's a team that the parents don't know when cheating going down. So that means that all 25 to 30 parents have to buy into the cheating. So we can't have a
Well,
community, a group of people that feel like it's
we can't.
cool. You see what I'm saying? So we can't just
And
jump on the coaches.
there's one thing we gotta say too, Jonah. I will go on record and say, man, I know some of these people just don't know. If it's their first
Right,
time in YNC, they used to playing in other leagues, they didn't know.
right.
There are some things that your local league may allow that we don't allow at the YNC.
That's correct.
So I would always recommend, if your goal is to be part of the YNC, even if your local league allows a particular transaction, you need to look at it from, okay, I'm good locally, but is this going to penalize me nationally, right? So there's some guys that didn't know they did some things that is allowed locally, but it's not allowed at the YNC. In addition to that as well, you've got some people, man, that, oh my God, Joe, you got some people just don't give a fuck, man. They
Right,
just don't give a fuck. So, like I tell people all the time, man, I'm never finna get on social media and dig to try to disqualify any kid. If it was up to me,
right,
every single kid would experience the YNC, because I think it's something that we've created that's magnificent that all these kids need to experience. But the reality of it is this, is that rules are rules, and we all have to abide by rules when we want to be a part of something. If you don't want to be
right,
a part of it, then you don't have to abide by those rules. So
right.
it's a sad situation, but ultimately people will see once these rankings come out, man. We mean business when we say these rules are rules, and there's no exceptions to the rules.
Right.
I mean, whether if you are a four-time defending national champion, RDU, or you a team that's coming to make your first appearance at the YNC, the exact same rules have to be followed across the board.
100%. And we'll touch this and we'll jump into rankings right after this. So, for example, if you see teams remove, it could be something as simple as that they didn't make the roster date, which means Clay and I beat the drums on the internet, emails, every which way you can say it. Hey, listen, September 15th is your control date to get your rosters in. And a lot of teams know that system. They've been in YNC before. Didn't get the rosters in. So after that point, we can't say, hey, coach, hey, what's going on? No, we gave the deadline to every team. So rosters won't turn in. They're not – we can no longer say we can legitimately say your team has a legit roster. So we can't rank you, first of all, from a Generation Next side of point. And in YNC, they don't have control data of your roster. So how could you be eligible to play? So it's unfortunate. Listen, team moms, coaches, you're not only calling X's and O's, but you also have to be the CEO of your team. And if you want to compete nationally, these are some things in the paperwork you have to take care of. And again, there's this housekeeping that we just want to get out the way real quick. And just make sure, we wish and salute, all those teams that have abided by the rules, that got everything in, that they're ready to rock and roll for the season. And so, Clay, without further ado, we're going to jump in. You got evens this week, get your phone ready, get it out.
Yeah.
That 6U vibe. 6U looks different.
Hey,
out the gate, Clay. Out the gate, 6U look different.
6U look real different, man. So we're going to get it started. Generation Next Rankings Uncut, top 15 6U. This week, sitting at number 15, you have the 404 Bulls out of Georgia. And I'm going to tell you, Jonah, I've been hearing a lot of noise about this team. My man from Bourne Chaser's ex has been telling me that they need to be a top 8 team. So we're going to continue to watch this team, man, to see how they evolve throughout the season. Number 14, I'm in New York City right now, so of course we got to talk about great elite out of New York. Sitting at number 13, you have Matthew Dickey, the number 12 6U team in the country. Carolina Reloaded out of North Carolina, another team I've been hearing a lot of positive feedback on that we need to see up close. Number 11, Lauderdale Lake Vikings. And as we roll into the top 10 on 6U, sitting at number 10, SED Wolverines. Number 9, Maryland Heat. Number 8, Maitrey Dolphins, another team that has slowly working their way up the rankings, Jonah. Slowly working their way up the rankings. Number 7, formerly number 1, but they took an L, 2 weeks ago, I believe? Atlanta Elite. Sitting at number 6, West Orlando Jaguars. Number 5, the Oak Cliff Titans. Sitting at number 4, and this is a team that upset Atlanta Elite, Fayette County Blue Devils.
Yes.
Number 3, Bessemer Tigers. Number 2, Pompano Chiefs. And the number 1 6U team in the country right now, the Duval Jaguars. So that's it, guys. You can see it right there in front of you. Number 1 through number 15 6U teams in the country.
I love it, man. I love it. Straight action. So look, man, we're going to switch gears to the 7 and under right now. So this is going to be a little different. We're going to introduce something to you a little different right now. We're about to turn up the rankings. And so today we'll give you a taste of what the future rankings are going to look like now on Generation X and Rankings Uncut, and kind of give you an ESPN vibe moving forward. We've done a little with I want to say 7, 8, 9 years old. Next time we drop the rankings, it'll be 6U through 14U. So I'm going to go ahead and kick off the teams that's on the rise, the top 5 teams that's trying to break into those top 10. Number 15, West Orlando Jaguars out of Florida representing, trying to get up there, trying to get into that national play. At 14, Huffman Hurricanes out of Alabama, a tough team. This team has the potential, Clay. I really feel they can be a top 8 team. They got to make a push as we get into November to start pushing so they can get that national invite for D1. Number 13, Playmakers Elite out of Virginia. Playmakers Elite, man, they started off in the top 10, took a couple L's. Another team I think can make a push to get in that top 8 teams, top 10 teams, and number 1. A team that's hot and cold, no pun intended, so icy Hurricanes out of Georgia. Sometimes they can come out there and blow the doors off somebody, and then sometimes they can take a big loss. So we got to see what so icy we're going to get. And to round out those top 5 teams that's on the rise right now, the Maryland Heat Listen, that's another team I feel can make that push for the top 8. Now let's roll it, Mr. Cameraman, for the top 10 teams in the country.
Oh boy.
Let's turn these rankings up.
Oh boy.
So the top 10, 7U. Let's make it happen. 8 Mile Giants in the house, representing Alabama, Clay. Letting them boys roll it. Taking it to the house. Number 9, out of Georgia, Atlanta Elite on the scene. Oh, and we got to tell you, I'm going to tell you about these rankings, where they're coming from, too. I'm going to break it down with it for you in a second. Gorilla Mob, ABN at number 8. Gotta love it. Coming in at number 7, Maryland Elite. This is a team that I feel can make a push for that national championship. Rolling in at number 6, RDU, Real Deal University, out of Georgia, defending YNC champs. Do they have enough in the gas tank to push for a national championship? Louisiana Tigers, already lightning in the bottle. Big upset early in the season. Can they maintain the push throughout the season? Bringing it in at number 4 is the dog pound, baby. Naughty and those boys upset RDU. Do they have enough to stay in the top 5? Bessemer Tigers, big Bessemer that is. Formerly number 1, this is a team that you can expect them to push for a national championship. At number 2, you gotta love these party boys, SED Wolverines representing Texas. I don't know if anybody more hot than this team right now in the country. And at your number 1, no, it's not a repeat, baby, is Duval Jags at 7 as well. Besides 6, that club is doing it on a big level. And now let me talk to you about these rankings, man. Shout out to my man Curly, Media Graphics. He's going around, we're getting all the clips. Top 10 coaches. Listen to what I'm telling you. If you feel your team is in the top 10, be in the top 10, send all your clips right to us at info@genx.com. That's info@genx.com. Drop us a 10-second video. We want to make sure these babies get their love, they get their shine. But Media Graphics, man, definitely doing it big and helping us give an ESPN feel. My man Curly's been down from day one. It's only going to get bigger and better. And, let me not steal the rest of your thunder, Clay. Let's roll that 8 and under right now.
Well, hold on, man. Hold on before you get. All right, fuck it then. We're gonna roll it to it then. I was just trying
I
to
told AG to chill. I told AG to chill. Don't flash nothing first, AG. Go ahead and pull that screen back down. We don't want to see that, AG. Pull it off. Let Clay get his vibe, man.
Take that screen down, AG. Take that screen
off, AG. There you go. Now we ain't ready to roll the top 10 yet. AG, we need you to chill.
No, he done rolled through 7U again. He done rolled through 7U again.
All you want is Clay pitch up right now.
So
let's pull that off,
while AG rolling through 7U again, I'll say this, man. Right now, 6U and 7U, number 1 teams in the country, Duval Jaguars, man. That speaks volume. That speaks volume. And you and I both know they got some heat on some other levels. Right now, could Duval Jaguars be the top contender for YNC Organization of the Year? That's the question I'm putting out there to people.
You're right. So, Duval Jags has it on multiple levels, man. And not only are they in top, they can actually contend for some national championships. So, they doing something. They drinking some good water over there. Whatever they got going on at Duval, man, they've been producing week in and week out. So when we come up on this 8U, we'll leave the screen. We're not going to put up anything up. We're not going to put the rankings up. We'll let you read those top 5 that's coming out of the our teams on the rise, and then we'll come back and we'll click it from there. So once again, shout out to the 7 and under getting their shine. Big Bessemer at the number 3. And the number 2, SED Wolverines. I feel this is the year they want to push for a national championship. But right now, everything is running through the city of Duval, representing in North Florida.
All right, guys. So now that we see that the Duval Jaguars are number 1 in the country on 6U as well as 7U, we about to roll into number 11 through 15 on 8U. On the rise. So sitting at number 15 on 8U, West Baltimore Ravens. Number 14, and this is a team that a lot of people have been talking about. Could this team win a Division II national championship? Maybe they squeak their way into the Division I scene. Indy Firehawks.
Yeah.
Sitting at number 13, you have the Laurel Stallions. Number 12, there goes that organization again, Duval Jaguars.
Wow.
And rounding out the on the rise, sitting at number 11 on the 8U, you have the Louisville Dolphins out of Kentucky. Now, AG, go on hit them with Go on, hit them with the video on the top 10 for AU, man. Let's get it rolling.
Do your thing. Roll that top 8U.
All right, guys. And here we go with the 8U. Sitting at number 10, Lauderdale Lake Vikings, representing South Florida. Number 9, OG Ducks, always representing the West Coast and always look good with the 80 million uniforms they have. Number 8, coming out of the Midwest, CBE Sawboys, Cincinnati Bearcats Elite. Number 7, and some people say the pride of Alabama, Bessemer Tigers.
Big Bessemer.
Number 6, representing the boot, Crescent City Chargers, another team that a lot of people have been talking about this year. Number 5, and always got the drama with them, Ape Shit, Rare Breeds out of Atlanta, Georgia. You got to love them. Number 4, 8U team in the country, Orlando Outlaws. Shout out to Orlando, man. Hopefully everybody bounced back strong from that hurricane.
Yes, sir.
Number 3, 8U team in the country, SCD Wolverines out of Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. The number 2 team in the country, Pac Prime. It's going to be interesting to see when Pac Prime and SCD have to cross paths because they are in the same league. And the number 1 8U team in the country, returning YNC national champions, Atlanta Elite, also known as Voodoo.
Voodoo. Absolutely, Clay. Hey, and another name that I'm hearing repeatedly in these top rankings, SCD Wolverines as an organization, man. So doing it big, SCD Wolverines, got to give a shout out to what they doing out there in Texas, man. It's hard to compete in Texas, but it's even harder to compete nationally. So when you hear these teams busted in the top 10 consistently like that on multiple age levels, man, that's just, it's huge. It's big, absolutely big. So let me go ahead and jump on the top our rising teams that's 11 through 15 on a 9 and under right now, before we even jump into anything else. And these are the teams that's trying to bust into that top 10. And want to give a shout out to the East End Tigers out of Virginia, Clay. First time they busting into Generation X rankings, coming out there doing it good on in the DMV area. East End Tigers, you'll be hearing this team, a lot of offense and a lot of linebackers that, man, they make linebacker core look crazy over at the Tigers. This is a team you really like, man. We watching this team really develop every week, raising havoc out of Texas. And, of course, the Louisville Chargers. Now, Louisville Chargers was made, of course, famous by, of course, those boys that did it, the back-to-back champions. But they're doing it here on the 9 and under. And then more truth. This is a team that, listen, is this going to be a Division II champion, or is this going to be a team that's competing for Division I? More truth. Keep a lookout for them. And, of course, rounding out the number 11 team, the teams that's on the rise, the Gators out of Alabama, Montgomery Gators, holding it down for the top 5 teams on the rise. Now we get ready to roll that tape for the top 10 for the 9 and under in the country. Let's turn up. Number 10, Louisville Dolphins, representing Kentucky. Team that want to make it down to YNC. They want to represent for the first time, bring it back home to the Kentucky. Of course, Miami Garden Ravens, defending AY champs, just had 2 losses this year that has them looking out, trying to look in for a championship. TNS Cougars, play one of your favorite teams that you feel can make a big splash in the YNC Division I championship run. Number 7, big tribe, Wahoma Seminoles at the number 7 spot at 9 and under. Coming in at number 6, Lauderdale Lake Vikings, knocking off that Miami Gardens team. This is a team that has nothing to prove to nobody. They feel they can come back home to walk with a YNC championship. Gold-blooded Titans out of Texas, very tough, big boys. As you see, like number 7, this is a big football team. And of course, OG Ducks, man, one of the most talented players in the backfield, number 21, can take it to the house from anywhere on the football field. OG Ducks always in the running for a national championship. Of course, Georgia Eagles, what can you say about them? But they always flying high. This is a team that can win anytime, any place, on any field. And of course, that name again, Duval Jags, as an organization, and top 5 teams once again pushing for a national championship. Holding it down, Win City, Twin City, you can call them what you want, but you got to call them national champs. Twin City defending national champs at the number 1 spot, 9 and under. So Clay, man, that is the 9 and under. Now, that was our video taste. Y'all give us some feedback. That's what y'all want to see weekly. We doing it for all 90 teams, baby. There's 9 divisions, top 10 teams. We're going to put in the work. Shout out once again, my man Curly, putting in the work, making it happen, media graphics. But we're going to put in that work, man. Give all these babies love. So top 10 coaches, flood the inbox. Give us your most swaggiest video so you get your shine right here on Rankings Uncut. And if we just won't put it on print anymore, it's going to be video ranking. So it's going to be a little different on your bragging right now. When you get on Instagram and you get on Facebook, you get that action with it. So, Clay, it's time to pull up.
Jonah, let me ask you this, Jonah. Let me ask you this. Do you kind of feel right now, do you kind of feel like Steve Jobs when he invented the iPhone? Or when he did the iPod? Like, you changing the game with rankings right now, man. How do you feel right now? I see you got your fresh cut. I see you got your fresh edge up. So I mean,
that thing lined up, boy. You feel me? I had to come through. I had to come through. You know what I'm saying? Can't play with these people right now. We gotta let them know what time it is. But that's not it, man. Wait till y'all see. And AG gonna be a big part of this. Ours in the background right now on the 1s and 2s. But you know, we try to stay cutting edge on everything we do. And when it comes to like the live streaming, it doesn't get better. Put somebody up against our dare you. And the man does so much countless research.
AG is the GOAT.
This man set up replays, graphics, scoreboards, and that's not by default. I want y'all to know there's no kit or no cable that just say this is all do it here. You got to have that interest. You got to have that love. You got to have that passion. So when you see the national championship and we doing the red flag challenge only at YNC, you'll see them replays from different angles, and you'll see it. Listen, and that's why we want pictures in the top 8 teams. When we get closer to YNC, we want pictures of the kid faces. So when we show that offensive line, you're gonna see the kids' faces out there. You're gonna see the quarterback faces. Why when we say it's about the kids, man, we don't want to just talk about it. I think it's most productive when you can just show it. So when you got people that staying up around the clock, putting these videos together, putting these clips together, because they love it, man. They love what we do for the kids, and we wanted to show it YNC. We don't just want to talk about it. So the difference is we want to give these kids a platform. That's when you look at our championship, it's not just the championship weekend, Clay. It's the week in, week out platform. It's the media coverage. It's the videos. It's the rankings. It's the package. It's the rings. It's the swagged out chains. It's the sweatsuits. So when you say YNC, it's a whole different vibe, bro. So it ain't just that, oh, man, they just want to throw a tournament. We good on that. We want to throw a whole entire vibe. So, again, man, we get to pop our collar sometime, but it's the team behind us.
Jonah, we so cold at YNC, I'm even thinking about giving our national champion coaches Uber drivers. You see what I'm talking about?
Would they happen to speak Spanish there?
Yeah, she definitely can speak some Spanish for them. So, oh man, hey, but no, you're right, Jonah, man. The vibe that we are striving to create is going to be second to none, you know. And it's no better way to say it, man. What we do is for the culture of youth football. You know, I mean, you have to be in it to really understand it. You can't just sit behind the desk. You can't just, you know, the thing about it is Jonah is at these games traveling. You're going to be in Atlanta this weekend for some huge games. Yep. I'm always traveling at these games, you know, whether if it's West Coast, East Coast, Southeast, Midwest, Texas. You know, I think the only area you and I haven't been to, man, is up to the Northwest. So Reggie need to invite us up to an air game or something up there so we can check that vibe out up there. But like I said, man, 100%. We are everywhere. And the thing about it is this Division I and this Division II is going to be crazy. Jonah, I had a team call me today from Hawaii, man. Yeah. Hawaii. And they was like, Clayton, I want to be part of this Division II. What do we have to do? I said, send me your team's resume, you know. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. But enough about that, Jonah, man. Man, I'm finna talk about this 10U national ranking.
Woo!
So
let's get it popping.
We're gonna start this thing off.
Does 10U look a little different?
at number 15 right now, we have the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. Sitting at number 14, Tampa Jaguars. Number 13, ABA Bulldogs out of Georgia. Number 12, and this is a Northeast team that I've been hearing a lot about. I saw them not under the Benson Bruins, but I saw them at one of my All-Star events in Arizona last spring, and they looked good. Benson Bruins. So I'm going to reach out to that coach. We got to get those guys at the YNC.
For
Sitting at number
100%.
11, the Columbia Knights. And as we roll into the top 10, sit at number 10. And again, I'm going to say it again. I'm in New York City, so I'm going to give them boys a shout out. Great Elite out of New York.
Yes,
The
sir.
number 9 10U team in the country right now. And they took a loss to the number 3 team in the country, but it was a good close game, 12-6. Pearland Hurricanes. Sitting at number 8, OG Ducks, representing the West Coast always. Number 7, Maryland Heat. And I believe this one is the Wave. So them boys say they are coming to bring the Wave all the way through the YNC. Number 6, Rare Breeds. Again, that ape shit. Sitting at number 5, Carroll City Chiefs. Number 4 team, and they've been steady strong at this spot all year, the St. Louis NTB Bad Boys. Hey, man, tell me why I just got a text from Reggie and say talk about you and Jonah better be at the next game. The number 3 10U team in the country, Renegade Colts, RCU. Number 2, 10U team in the country, and a team that we've been saying they name a lot on almost every age bracket, Duval Jaguars. And again, the number 1 10U team in the country. I say it once and I say it again. In my opinion, this is the number 1 pound for pound team in the country.
Yes.
CD Jaguars, also known as Lambeau.
And Clay, while I agree with you, is because, and when we say pound for pound, it's not that we think Howard is the coolest dude out or that Lambeau has the sexiest uniforms, because that is. But while we come with that definition for pound, one of the best teams, no one has challenged them in a dog fight where, man, you in the fourth quarter trying to figure out who's going to win the game. The game is usually decided by the second quarter, and they just dominant in their age group. Arguably, this Century Cad Lambeau team at 10 and under can actually go play a majority of the top 15 teams in 11U and come out with a win. So that's why we say pound for pound, man, that Lambeau team. And yeah, shout out. Listen, if you live in the Jacksonville area, if you don't got your kids in the Jags, man, I don't know what you're doing, because Duval, man, they ball in that particular area. I'm very impressed with them on a national level as putting these many teams that's competitive. When I say competitive, man, I ain't talking about number 15 and number 12. These people in the top 5, bro. And shout out to Carroll City Chiefs as the hot boys. I expect them to make a strong push. 10U should be very interesting. Here's what we got to ask ourselves, Clay. This is an age group to say it's going to be very interesting to who can challenge Lambeau, because we feel Lambeau is going to be in the championship until proven otherwise. You understand what I'm saying? So, man, right now it's been a race for number 2, but who can knock them boys off? So you're right about that, Clay.
Hey, man, one thing about Howard and company, and like you said it first, anybody that knows the history, man, me and Howard have not always seen eye to eye on things, man. I want to say at IMG, me and Howard might have been 2 or 3 words from going to blows our damn self. But the reality of it is, man, you have to respect what he's done. You have to respect what that coaching staff has done. And you've got to respect the hard work that his boys put in and everything that they have built over there, man. Those kids deserve everything that they get.
You're right. Well, let me not steal the shine from the 11 under right now. These are the top 5 teams trying to push into the top 10. These are the teams that's on the rise. At number 15 out of North Carolina, Carolina Reloaded. I like to see Carolina Reloaded pushing in here. Second time you heard their name, they're pushing in on teams. Like to see what they're doing over there in the Carolina areas. Of course, listen, City Life Rapids has been very competitive, but they've been going up against some big dogs, and those big dogs have been clipping their wings a couple times, so they're coming in at the number 14 spot at the 11 and under. Big Bessemer, once again, that's a name you're hearing, a team that's an organization out of Alabama on multiple levels pushing that brand. And, of course, the Lauderdale Lake Vikings at the number 12 spot out of the FYFL. And of course, this team that I think is very talented, Coach Larry, he's the head of that team out there on the West Coast, OG Ducks. That's a team that has a lot of great players, and I think they're good. I want to say a couple games away of really trying to push their way back into the top 10. Now, we all know this, man. Thanks for the invite to number 10. Air Apex Predators getting back into that top 10 again. Always out there competing. Congratulations to them boys seeing the top 10 action once again. And of course, this is a team that I really like, Clay. RMG Elite, representing those boys out of New York. They right around the corner. Go knock on their door, man. These are teams that I want to say New York is doing a real great job, or a great job of pushing their football acumen, because they haven't been known for it. Let's be honest. You know, the weather isn't always conducive to play football, but them boys started to really put it in on a national level. Team that you really introduced me to, I had to see him for myself, balling out on the 11 and under, Trey Man Elite. Gotta love them boys out of Texas. And then I'm going to go right back to Texas again. I saw this team play in person over at our event, Clay, man, early in the preseason. Renegade Colts United. I love that team, man. That's a team that can beat anybody any day. Have one of the most talented football players in the country. I love their odds of pushing it down for a national championship run. Now, this is a team that's real tough. A lot of people don't see them. They're up north. They haven't got all the media push, but we got to give them their love. We got to give them their props. I really like what they're doing at the Southfield Falcons, really pushing that 11 and under. They have a strong 11U and a strong 11-13, so push out to those boys. Shout out to those boys out Southfield Falcons. And another team you're hearing often about, and that's really a solid organization. When you can make a splash in Texas, you know you're doing it real big. Gold-blooded Titans making another splash right here in the country. Now, this team with a big win on the national stage. They played in the FYFL just yesterday in the Lauderdale Lakes Vikings area. Came out there and beat the defending Super Bowl champs. Give a shout-out to the Miami Garden Ravens. Doing it big. Listen, this is a team that has a big potential. We always said all they needed was some more offense. They have a great defense, head coach by Rod Mack, and he calls the defensive coordination over there, bringing his University of Miami style of coaching to that team on the defense. And so they won a close game 12-6 just yesterday. Team that is going to be playing a big game that we'll have eyes on this weekend, man. It won't get any better. Listen, if you're in the Atlanta area, boy, you better get on. Going on to National 2.0 and look at the schedule for this weekend's game. Book Saturdays, book Sunday. It's going to be a movie. This is a great matchup. Atlanta Elite will be taking on Rare Breeds this weekend. You won't want to miss that action, man. Atlanta Elite at the number 3 spot. Number 1 versus number 3. And, of course, defending national champ a couple years ago, just removed from 1 year, SED Wolverines. I love the 11U bracket, man. I think it's going to be super sexy, super exciting. The matchups from all the brackets are going to be bananas. And, of course, holding it down at the number 1 spot, I'm going to let you say it, man, because you've been running with the 8 vibes all night, Clay. Rare Breeds is what? 8 what?
Ape shit. Ape shit. I tell you what, Jones, that 11U bracket, when I'm looking at that bracket, right? Number 1, Ape shit, of course, defending YNC national champion. Number 2, SED, defending YNC national champion from year before and YNC national runner-up. Atlanta Elite. You got Miami Garden Ravens, Gold-Blooded Titans, Southfield Falcons, RCU, Trey Man Elite, RMG. I mean, Air. If you look at that top 10, any 8 of those top 10, man, it's going to be a movie at the YNC. It's going to be a movie. Now, let me ask you this, Jonah, because I know traditionally, and I know you got a good relationship with Rob Matt. Traditionally, that Miami Garden Ravens team, they go AYF. Do you know if they are going to try to step up to the bigger stage this year at the YNC, as well as with Southfield Falcons? Because those are 2 teams that are traditionally AYF strongholds.
Well, the thing about the Ravens, they can't look ahead to the national championship this year. They have to beat the defending FYFL championship in the FYFL Super Bowl first, which is Lauderdale Lake Vikings. So, you'll get the old football coach talk from them. Hey, man, we're not worried about nationals right now. We got to win our Super Bowl. And it's in this case, it's true because they're so evenly matched. So they may not have the opportunity to represent the FYFL, so we can't look ahead. But I think if he does, they know the competition, definitely. If if you're an 11U, let's keep this rank is uncut, so we don't gotta smooth it. We could be 100% and we could be raw with it. If you in the 11U division, if you're not trying to knock off the rare breeds, then you're not playing football. Everything else is like you want to just get a trophy and just say you won something on a national level, but you can't say you're the national champ. You feel me? You can
Well,
say, yeah, we won
well,
this
I tell you
tournament on
this.
a national
Yeah,
level
yeah,
because we
yeah.
played some teams from another state that had some national competition. But homie, you can't say you the national champ. So if I feel I got something and I feel we go, bruh, Red Breeze, I gotta see you. SED, I gotta see
I'm
you. You understand what I'm saying? Outside of that, you can go play somewhere else, but it won't be with the real intent to win a national championship. And that's no slight to no other tournament. That's no slight to no other teams. Let's just keep it 100. You understand what I'm saying? Keep it
well.
100.
I'm gonna put this out there, man. So, one thing we gotta correct: Trey Man Elite is out of Florida. They're not out of Texas. And I say that to say this: Trey Man Elite has called me and is like, Clayton, you need to call Rob Mack and let him know he's not the best 11U in Florida. So Trey Man Elite has basically said that Miami Garden Ravens been running from him. That was quote unquote what he said. Now, FYFL does have a rule they can't play outside their league right now, but it would be good to maybe be able to settle that in-state rivalry right there in Division One YNC in Wellington, Florida. Might be
Yeah,
good to settle it right there.
yeah,
So
absolutely. I
I'm just
agree.
gonna put that out there, man.
Well, let me see what that 12 you looking like. This is another age division that has thriller, has movie, has vibes written all over it from top to bottom. If you come to YNC, you want to be stuck on that 12U field to see every single game because I can guarantee you it's going to be drama filled on every down and every game in the 12 and under, Clay. Let me see what that 12 and
Most
under looking
definitely.
like for the top 15 teams in the country.
All right, so rolling at 12 and under, sit at number 15. PPE, also known as the Pittsburgh Panthers. Number 14, Southfield Falcons. Sitting at number 13, Plantation Wildcats. Number 12, Ridge Road Titans out of DC. Now, this is a new team for me, Jonah. Boy, you done
Yeah.
some digging on this one. You must have got some
Yes,
good
sir.
intel on this squad right here.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting at number 11. And many people say they are the best team in Arizona, the Arizona Champions. Number 10, Rare Breeds, also known as Ape Shit, sitting at number 9, TMT Hurricanes. Number 8, 12U team in the country, OG Ducks. Number 7, IB Braves. Now, I heard a rumor. I don't know how true this is. Somebody chime in. I heard a rumor that IB Braves and DEA is playing this weekend in Arizona. I don't know how true this is. That's just a little rumor
Yeah.
I've been hearing. Number 6, Brick City Lions. Number 5, Maryland Heat, also known as the Mob. Number 4, West Orlando Jaguars. Number 3, Central DeKalb Dream Chasers. Number 2, and 4-time back-to-back YNC national champions, Real Deal University, and the number 1 12U team in the country now, DEA, out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. Jonah, I'm finna run you through this, man. I'm finna run you through this right now. DEA, YNC. RDU, YNC. Dream Chasers, YNC. West Orlando Jaguars, YNC. Maryland Heat, YNC. Brick City, YNC. IB Braves, we don't know. OG Ducks, YNC. TMT, YNC. Rare Breed, YNC. I'm looking at this list, Jonah, and 9 out of the top 10 teams are bona fide YNC committed participants. Man, does it get any hotter than that, bro? I mean, does
Yeah.
it really get
It's
any hotter
crazy.
than that?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I love it. And some other games, man, that's gonna be big time in South Florida too, man. That's gonna be in my own backyard. The Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes are taking on the Hot Boys this weekend, so that's gonna be a movie. Those two teams that always got a battle for that national championship And that's that's right in Lambeau's area. So we'll see who represents the FYFL on that. And then of course at 1:00 it is confirmed, Clay. IB Braves will be playing DEA. That is going to be
Oh,
epic because IB Braves have been riding a hot wave lately. They've been defeating teams. They came out, they lost against the champions earlier in the season, but after that, they've been the hottest 12-year-old team. So DEA,
so look,
they came out and they've been dominant. And right now, we haven't seen a team put together better work than DEA has defensively. When I tell you those boys are physical, they're fast, and they smother you. They took the same recipe that they had on 12U last year, exotic blitzes, exotic coverages. That DEA 12U team is going to be hard to beat. So it's going to come into a matchup between a big back, a very talented quarterback that IB Braves have at 12U. See who comes out there to see if this rankings get shook up. But wouldn't that be crazy? If that happens, then who would be up to get back at the number 1 spot? RDU would be back at the top of the list again? That would be crazy. So let's
that
see
would be
how that
insane.
all plays out this weekend, man. Hot Boys against Fort Lauderdale and the FYFL. You got DEA taking on there, and then you have some epic matchups in Atlanta. I got to tell you, probably rankings-wise, this weekend is going to what we call record rankings weekend, man. I got to tell you, so the rankings will look a lot different after these top-ranked teams are all playing. And listen, ain't nobody appreciate that more than you and I, Clay, when you're not dodging
Most
the
definitely.
smoke, when you're not trying to sit on the car hard behind your tires, play one game in the preseason or whatever, and then try to sit on your rankings. These boys, they're going to ball out, and we can appreciate that. We definitely could appreciate it. So, look, Clay, let me go ahead and see. We working off our bulletin board because it's hot off the press. 13 and under. 13 and under, here are the teams on the rise for 13 and under. Out of Colorado, 528 Junior Buffs out of Colorado. At the number 14 spot, new to the rankings, the Manitowoc Huskies out of New Jersey, represented. And out of Illinois, the 13th spot, the Detroit Ravens, and this is a team that we've been watching, Clay, trying to push into the top 10. Will they have enough to do it as we approach November? At number 12, St. Louis Blackhawks out of Missouri, representing. This is a team that we also can feel competitive there. And Get Elite had a great preseason, man. Only with one loss is a team that I feel can really just make push out of this 13U push. Now, this is a team that we're really watching, man. Harbor Area Pilots out of this is the top 10. Harbor Area Pilots out of the California area, bringing in that top 10 area at the 13 and under. Now, this is a team defending national champs team that's kind of hard to figure out, but they will be playing this weekend too, Clay. Dragons Elite DEA. You know, this was a team that we thought would be the sexiest team coming into the 2022 season with a booby and bringing back the top running back and the quarterback. Well, that didn't happen, but this team is still something to reckon with. They're still in the top 10. Let's see what they make of it this weekend. At the number 8 spot, representing out of Philly, the North Philly Blackhawks coming in at the number 8 spot. Now, this is a team that's full of discipline, a team that we feel can make a push towards in, and we would love to have over at the YNC. We've been talking to these guys. I think they can be this year, and they think so too, where they can get in this big ring with the 13 and unders and compete for a national championship. Chandler Bears Elite. These boys are represented, and they've always had a Class 1 organization. We'd love to see them compete on a national level this year at the YNC. This team is probably one of the biggest teams up front, defensively, on offensively and defensive line, and they can just put some things together. Lost to the Lions earlier this year, but don't sleep on the Southfield Falcons. Trey Wyeth team. We'd love to see if them boys can compete now at a 13 and under. As they get ready for high school, what better way to go out there and really just get into this 13U bracket? Now, team that I'm saying the words once again, Duval Jags. Yes, I'm saying it again in the top 5. This is a powerhouse organization. That man putting these in top 5s is crazy. It's absolutely. So give them boys some love. Duval Jags, the number 5 spot at 13 and under. Lauderdale Lions, once a national champion years ago, probably in one of the most competitive brackets right now. If they want to return to that glory before high school, they're going to have to fight through it. Then no one's going to lay down. The top 4 teams, 3 teams ahead of them, we'll mention them. It's all bangers. Number 3, Allen's best Braves. You saw them play against the Golden Army in a dogfight in Miami. Ended up giving up 14 points, unanswered points in the fourth quarter with under 5 minutes left. Still has the potential to be one of the best teams in the country. Allen Braves at number 3. And of course, I feel has one of the most loaded rosters in youth football. The Golden Army, better known as the Miami Garden Chiefs. This is a team that we feel can be a national champ this year. It would be their first year competing in the YNC, and then, why not? Getting ready to go to high school, you have a loaded roster. You got one of the best quarterbacks in your age division, some of the best defensive players in your age division. Why not load up, play YNC, get you a national championship? And right now, team that's played a very intense schedule, great body of work, arguably has one of the best quarterbacks as well on that team. You talk about Hayes, who can make all the throws. You saw him in person when you went with me to Georgia, Clay, and you got to see what he can do on that level. Congratulations to the Falcons United, number 13, or the 13U as the number 1 team in the country. Falcons United, big FU.
And that's the thing, man. That, just as impressive as Hayes is, like you said, he's cool under pressure. He can make all the throws, but you've got to also talk about that beast he has coming out the backfield. They call the man Hercules, man. That running back is impressive, and he's a kid that gets stronger and stronger and stronger as the game goes on. So
Correct.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Anybody that is even wants to discuss being the 13U YNC national champion, you better have something in place to contain that offensive FU, man, because they are scoring at will and they scoring in big chunks. So, woo, it's gonna be crazy, man. I can't wait for it myself, man. Jonah.
Yeah.
Let's roll into this 14U, man. Let's get these people this 14U top 10, man.
Yeah.
Oh no, we got top 15.
Hold on. I got you
I'm
top
tripping.
15. Don't give
You
me.
done changed the game.
Hey,
You done
that
went top
14-year-olds
15.
call me up and say, look, man, I don't know what you got against 14-year-old, man. We went out on the rise too, bro. What's up with y'all people? So, we had to make it happen. You'll have your on the rise for 14 right now, sir.
Jonah got it fresh off the press, man. So top 15, 14U in the country, starting with our on the rise, sitting at number 15, Eastern Junior Vikings. Number 14, Rockledge Raiders out of Florida.
Yep.
Sitting number 13, the Eastside Cowboys out of Michigan. 12, Tampa Ravens out of Florida. And rounding out our on the rise at number 11, Glassboro Bulldogs out of New Jersey. Man, there's a lot of East Coast action up here, man. I might see if I can.
Hold on. Let me stop you right there since you rounded off the
wait
top
on
5.
Saturday and please.
Hold on.
I might see if,
I want people to chime in right now. Is it that Clay don't trust his wife driving? Why he got to watch the street more? You're not driving, Clay. You could be looking at the rankings. Why are you watching the streets?
hey, man, this lady not used to New York traffic, man. So I got to glance up every now and then to make sure we good.
You don't got no pedal or no steering wheel over there. You can glance all you want. Whatever gonna happen. You might as well ride out and read them rankings. You good. So you got your ties right, them top 10s. Let's go. I think Clay got frozen right there. I might have to step in for him and read those top. Clay, can you hear me? Testing 1, testing 2. So I think Clay is frozen in his New York area. He might have got some interference. So let me just round up those top 10 while he's trying to get back and see if our producer can bring Clay back in. But top 10, bring it. Clay, you back? All right, here we go. Top 10. Pine Hill Trojans at the top 10, representing out of Florida. At number 9 spot, Detroit Buckeyes out of Michigan. Okay, Clay, you back. Go ahead, hit that number 8.
All right, number 8, Vegas Strong. Sitting at number 7, was that G's United? G's United, that's what I'm talking about. Sitting at number 6, Mississippi Wolfpack. Number 5, LA Rampage. Number 4, and I know they got a big game going on this weekend, 757 Colts.
Yes, sir.
Number 3, we have Maryland Heat. Number 2, OC Buckeyes, and the number 1 for country, OG Ducks. And if I'm not mistaken, Jonah, I think we have OG Ducks and OC Buckeyes playing Monday Night Football this week, this coming Monday,
And
man.
it's going to be,
AG, am
that
I
is the
correct on
most
that?
anticipated 14 and under games. Yep. And
That's gonna be crazy, man. That's gonna be crazy.
Alfred will be streaming that thing live. So, man, the country, make sure y'all tune in for Monday Night Football, catching those two heavyweight fighters, man. So, Clay, man, I know you are getting ready to go ahead and enjoy your time watching your son, man. We appreciate you even in commuting, man, just, signing on, making this happen. People wanted their rankings no matter what. So we'll let you get to your family, and people will let y'all get back to what y'all doing and get ready. Next time you see these rankings, we'll be rolling that video, man, from the top to the bottom, letting these babies in. These are your dates for the national champions. And also, most importantly, we will also be adding Division II to the rankings. So Division II, we'll give y'all a separate night because, right now these people want to keep it on lock for their Division I. But this is what y'all rankings going to look like moving forward. So y'all send us in all your clips once again to info@genx.com. That's info@genx. That's 2 N's, 2 X's. Send us in a video. We want to make these babies have their vibes. And Clay, man, enjoy your vibe, man. I'll let you know how it turns out in Georgia with these big games in Florida, big games in California going down on Monday. And so these rankings will get shook up once again. And, man, parents, y'all keep it tight on the sidelines. No Muhammad Ali's, you know what I'm saying? No Mike Tyson's. And y'all mamas just as bad. I was in Atlanta the other day, man, and these mamas wanted to just go ahead and line it up. Mamas, chill. We got babies we got to set examples for. You know what I'm saying? And
most definitely.
I will tell you this, teams, we are in October. These are very important weeks for you to start getting on that invite list. You got to play your best football these next couple weeks, man. Next couple weeks. Those invites start going out in November. Y'all start making those plans for those Airbnbs. Y'all get y'all boats ready down here. Y'all parents get ready to get y'all little go-out itinerary. Come see the city. Come see Miami. Come see South Beach. Come see Fort Lauderdale Beach. It's going to be a vibe. You don't want to miss it. So y'all get ready for it, man. And Clay, any well wishes you want to send before you get out of here?
Hey guys, like Jonah said, man, this needs to be the best football of the year that you're playing right now. Also, if you're trying to make a late push into Division II, or maybe you in Division II, you're trying to make a push into Division I. Maybe you don't have some of the best teams in the country close to you or in your league. Hey, reach out to Sydney. They've got that event going down in New Orleans, Halloween weekend. They are looking for additional smoke. Might be an opportunity for a team to come out of nowhere and challenge one of the big dogs and get on the watch list for a YNC invite, man. So take advantage of that opportunity.
Absolutely, man. Hey, well, we thank y'all for tuning in. Same place, same time. Of course, y'all look out for these live streams this weekend. It's going down. You'll see all our boys once again. Shout out to all of our partners, Battle, Media Graphics, of course, our CMB in the background doing it big. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Clay, big games coming up in Texas. You gotta tease that before we get out of here, man. Big thing, Smoke Showdown, man. Smoke in Texas, man.
Hey, man, so in about 2 weeks, Gold-Blooded Titans, DeMarcus put together a really good event of a lot of smoke, man, that needs to be settled. You know, you've got a lot of the top 9U teams in the region. You've also got some 6U and 7U teams, man. Let me pull the flyer real fast, and I'm going to run through some of the matchups you got right there. So on Saturday on 7U, you're going to have Renegade Colts versus the Gold-Blooded Titans. Then you're going to have on 6U, TNS Cougars versus ABN. On 9U, you're going to have Havoc versus the Louisiana Titans. 9U, you're going to have ABN versus More Truth. 9U, you're going to have, no, I'm sorry, that's 8U. Yeah, 8U. 9U, you're going to have More Truth versus DFW Ravens. 9U, Gold-Blooded Titans versus TNS Cougars, which might be the top two 9Us in Texas right now. Then on Sunday back, and you're going to have DFW Ravens playing Gorilla Mob on 7U. 8U, you'll have More Truth versus Gold-Blooded Titans. 9U, you'll have TNS versus the Louisiana Titans. That's going to be a big matchup. Another big matchup you're going to have on 9U is going to be Havoc versus Renegade Colts. 9U, Gold-Blooded Titans, More Truth. 9U, DFW Ravens versus ABN. And then 10U, you're going to have TNS versus ABN. So you've got a lot of regional smoke that's going to be settled that weekend. Watch the
Yeah,
rankings get shaken up after that weekend, most definitely.
100. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. But man, where y'all keep it locked, man. We'll see you guys next week, next time, same place. Generation Next, Youth National Championships, Rankings Uncut. Clay and Jonah. We'll see y'all next week.